Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. Davis.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Mike 51, blue day.
Murray now on first down. He'll get this to Eckler. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw, it's Murray. This one caught by Isabella. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 39, Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On is Josh Lambo for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down to get 6'5".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Y'all playing the wrong football. New Mike 52, Mike 52. Silver.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 22 yards there, a first down.
Go. 90 ball. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 31. Check 31. Check. Hatchet. Kill. Hard. He's coming. Double up. Sponge.
First down, here's White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for them on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back, because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Now back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They start to drive with White. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 57 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Here we go. 6-6, bullet high. Back. Check. Crunch.
Try to punch it in with Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Murray. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, you know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On second down, Eckler. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Throwing is Murray on third down. Able to find Isabella. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see them?
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on third down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Ten two stop. Hey, Alpha. Back two is the mic. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 42 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now White. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Bravo. Bang, 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 bang. Protein spill. Mike 52. Here we go, here we go. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Get him. Check 13. General West. No, check that.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. Looking left sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Ready up. Mike 5-2. Mike 5. Smooth. Hey, they scared. 52 is the mic right here over there.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Now Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. 52, Mike, 52. Don't get nervous.
2nd and 10. And this one's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
That's complete to Smith. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Again, he'll drop the throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Hey, Hayward! 52's the money.
Here's the 2nd and 7. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5 now. Murray. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now, standing just about on his own goal line. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. This is fielded at the 27. He chucks him aside.
Thumped him.
A great return there of 22 yards.
That's it, baby. We go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. But I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 2nd and 5. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Shift. Topper! Check 52's the mic. Ready?
They're going to look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 33. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Hey.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Andy Isabella was the intended target.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. X3, 218, chopper. Check 43. Check hot route. Hot. Hey, switch gears. Check. Fresno, get it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
This quarterback now has hit on 7 of 17 passes, just 41%, but it's 1st and 10.
No, check that. We want Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. I got it. 52.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Buda Baker, there to force the incompletion.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Looking to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Three down, out.
Flipper. Deep rip.
Going on the ground, it's White. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
90, Wolf. Ready? Shoot.
They go right back to White here on first down. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Here comes the ball.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
It's our field.
Hey, wahoo! Let's go.
On second down, here's Smith. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals 1st down as well.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. On 2nd and 12, Murray. This one caught by Crowder. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they let their fullback try and push the pile. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
60 or. Bound to lose 1.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run here with Eckler. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Back now in Atlanta. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and 2. Throwing left side, it's complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 56 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Go! 50, plant.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Alert, alert.
Switch. No. Off.
Smith trying to run for it. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
He's checking.
Here we go now with Smith. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and goal.
Go. Ready.
Now back to throw. And it's caught. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
I don't care what the analytics say. Look at where they are on the field. To me, that just screams go for it here. I don't even think about putting a kicker out there. What say you?
I support whatever they do. Let's find out.
Look at you, man of the people.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about what the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Tighten up.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. This to Jarwin. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking deep downfield. It got his man, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So out come the Falcons now. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Just like that. Just like that.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
What we got?
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Gerald Everett is tied in, the intended receiver, and it's third down. The Falcons on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds. Their histories. You'll find that big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First down, Murray. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Another wayward pass. Yeah, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. There hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Ricky.
Ryan wants to throw it. Going to throw right side here, complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys get
After reviewing the play, the end of the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ryan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's.
Oh, look at this. Ryan's going to throw it. Being chased out left. This is caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 3rd and goal, Ryan forced out to his left. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, You get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about